The Coziness test for Petit Planet has officially come to an end, and with it, I chose to spend the last day making new friends and saying goodbye to my neighbors. Of course, seeing my last news broadcast set the feeling of the day in stone, knowing it would be the last time I got told the insectarium was finally open for the 100th time. First things first, I began my last rounds on my planet, breaking rocks, picking wild grass, and the like. Along the way, I made a few stops. I wanted to do a little tour of the flowers I had collected during my time in this beta, including this dirt patch I lovingly named, "This is where I would put my sunflowers, if I had any." In order, I managed to collect mooncycle roses, thanks to a friend, amaryllis from a different friend, some daisies, canna, violets, some king protea, moss roses, bellflowers, agapanthus, lilies, my native flower, and last but not least, dwarf dahlias. I do hope there's more color variety for the flowers in the release. Next, I did some cleanup of my farm area. At this point, I hadn't played in a day or two, so some of my crops were actually malnourished, something I hadn't experienced before this. I wanted to collect all of the produce for the last harvest, but didn't want to plant more knowing that I wouldn't see it again anyways. I'll definitely be recreating this garden area in the full release, with maybe some more room for Yunguo's house. Because I hadn't played much recently, there were actually a few drifting stars for me to collect off the beaches. These weren't super eventful, just more furniture and stuff that I already had, but I did manage to get an achievement for collecting drifting stars off the beach, which was pretty cool. I knew that one of the things I really wanted to do during the last day was take more photos of my planet and with my neighbors, but I wasn't sure exactly where I wanted to take photos. You see, I had avoided developing too much of my planet in detail because I knew it was going to be wiped. This means that there's a lot of empty space, and the areas I put the most love into were the flower garden and the farm. So, I obviously wanted photos of both those areas and a photo with each neighbor, but beyond that, I had no inspiration. Which is why when I came across Medellin sitting by this tree, I knew I couldn't pass it up and had to snap a pic. And while taking all these photos, I earned yet another achievement for snapping pictures. And of course, on the very last day, I finally got this cute dress I'd seen other people wearing. So I spent a little while playing around with the clothing menu and trying to figure out a way to make it look good. Unfortunately, I didn't have anything that I thought looked that good with it. But the clothing options in this game is one of my favorite things, and the menu divides everything into types, making it easier to find shoes than if you were just digging through your inventory. Which, you can adjust your inventory, but why would you do that when these little poses are just so cute? Last stop of the day was the multiplayer hub, where some of the beta testers were actually planning to get together for group photos. I was actually super early for this, but was far from the only one to show up early, so I got to spend some time just talking with other players. We mostly talked about the game, our hopes for it, and a little about what other Hoyo games we play. It was a lot of fun, and honestly the most I'd interacted with other players during the beta. In the end, I took a few photos of my own to remember the time spent with everyone, and ended up friending a bunch of people for ease of talking in-game. I will say I do wish there was an option to just see everyone's messages without being friends. The open chat spots only work when you're sitting there together, so if anyone I wasn't friends with was standing and talking, I couldn't see what they said, which was slightly annoying. But overall, this was an amazing experience. It was my first time participating in a Hoyo beta, and I have to say it left a very good impression on me. I don't think I've ever been this excited for a game, and I can't wait to see where it goes. From how Hoyo has been talking, it sounds like there will be at least one more beta before the release, so I'm hoping that I can get into that one as well. I'm eager to play more, even if it's another data wipe beta. I hope to see you all there, on the other side of the Star Sea.